Hi, welcome back to Modern Daze. We're on episode 12. Question mark. I'm fairly sure we're on episode 12.
I think you're right.
Fairly sure. Someone will correct me, I'm sure. This week's question for our players is what is your character's ideal holiday? So what they would consider the best holiday. I'm going to start with Andy.
Okay. Beren, sorry, I'm Andy. I play Beren, who's a paladin. Beren doesn't tend to take holidays as such, not a conventional holiday. If he's got time of his own, then he will be traveling somewhere that might be local in the UK, it might be somewhere in Europe, probably trying to get access to some library of antiquities or libraries of old books and research libraries and so on, trying to get access to them to then try and do some particular research.
So for Beren, there is no holidays, it's business as usual.
Well, no, it's almost for him. It's almost like working holiday is slightly misleading, but he has an obsession. I think it's probably the better way to put it.
Antiquing.
Yeah. And his free time is spent
reading
doing
books.
that.
Reading books.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes. Let's go, Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I play Raphy Matthews. Raphy's ideal holiday. So every year he goes to Cancun anyway for reasons linked to what he does in the days. But for an actual holiday, he actually wants to go to like Scandinavia or Norway somewhere. So it's cold, so completely different to Cancun. Snowy, not a lot of people, and he can just chill out and almost be on his own for a bit because he's constantly surrounded by people and other things. So yeah, somewhere quiet and cold.
I asked Raphy's, not Tom's, right?
No. Tom's is different. Tom's is different. Tom's would be.
It sounds very similar to what Tom's is.
No. That's where I want. That's where I want to live.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. All right, Kyle, we'll go next.
I've got to play Cadman, I'm a paladin, the better paladin. Again, annoyingly, my idea's kind of been nicked again, but
I should have gone with you
You
first.
should have gone first to Kyle.
Cadman doesn't really do holidays at all, to be honest. His purpose for being is his job, and he finds that fulfilling in his own ways. And if he does need a bit of peace, he'll just go out into the world and relax for a bit, but he'll still come back and get straight back to what his duty is.
Fair enough. I think that's a classic paladin mindset.
But that is different as well. So
yeah.
Cadman is all about duty. Beren has got an obsession.
That's true. Yeah. All right then. Let's go. I'm gonna pick on Ian first. I think. Yeah. Go on, Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. I play Darrell Knight, the Blade Singer. Darrell's holiday, it's not really a destination, but it involves blue skies, warm summer sun, an open twisting road, and the wind in his hair, and an old classic British motorbike.
Nice.
See, not a 7-page essay. Ben.
I am Ben. I play Hendrix the dog, and I think Hendrix's ideal holiday is probably being left alone in a butcher shop. But actually, I don't think Hendrix really understands holidays at all. It's a human thing.
Yeah.
Life is one long holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what is it? So, he's quite happy at home. That's where his familiar smells are and stuff. But so as far as Hendrix is concerned, holidays is when he's went somewhere and leave home and then go somewhere with odd new smells and do weird things that he doesn't really understand. So by that definition, he's on holiday now.
Oh no. That's to live a dog's life where holiday's the bad thing. Oh,
Yeah.
that's horrible. I love it. I love all of that. Thank you, guys. As you may or may not have noticed, we are missing Ken again. Terrible.
Slacker.
And
And again.
Ken again. He may or may not be off for a few weeks, but we'll see. We'll see when he comes back.
It's all down to his business getting really busy at the minute. So
Yeah. Right. So let's dive back in. Quick recap. I think last session was pretty much just the combat. So we're just going to pick up where we left off, which was Liam, because we expected Ken to be here to play his character. Terrible. But I'm not going to be able to load that up in time. No, I'm going to have to. My computer is being exceptionally slow, so please bear with us.
Well, Hendrix is on the same initiative. Do you want to do Hendrix?
Yeah, let's do
Hendrix while you load up Liam.
Yes. Good plan, Batman. Hendrix, if you go
Make
first.
Suggestions.
I always make suggestions.
Yeah, I know. Where I've forgotten where I am now. Oh, I am down in the corner.
You're hiding
Yeah.
off to the bottom.
I'm hiding. Yeah, I'm away from it all. Can I hit one of those thingies that's in the middle? What's that?
So the only one viable target is this guy, and you
Yeah.
can absolutely you are within range. So go ahead.
Sweet. Let's do that then.
Make your attacks.
Do.
Just as an FYI, Raphy, remember, or Tom, I should say, remember that Raphy is restrained currently.
yes,
Wow.
Am I right, B, that this one's dead? Has this
Yep.
restraining area gone?
Yes. So I'm going to get rid of the body now because obviously it is no longer required. It kind of just sinks back into normal roots anyway. So essentially there is no body to speak of.
Okay.
So 16, was that just now? Was that?
yes.
Yeah. 16 hits.
Oh.
You do get sneak attack. And it is all psychic damage. And that exactly kills it.
Yay.
Bill
Kill
stealing as
steal.
usual.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Straight off the bat.
Great.
This is going to be a very short end of combat. Oh, what are you doing? Come on. That is dead. Right. I don't know. You can't really reach the other one, I don't think, with your bonus attack.
Okay. Can I move and then take a bonus attack?
You
Yes.
can absolutely do that.
Okay.
So if you, yeah,
Can I get to there? That seems good. I'll go there.
hang on.
Whoever did that little arrow.
Sorry,
for me.
that was me. It was delayed. That was all. So that would take your,
Bonus action down. No, your standard movement speed.
That's my standard movement. Yeah.
of 50.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. I forget they get extra movements. Okay.
And
So
can I
yeah,
reach from there or not?
I don't know. Hang on.
Probably not. Where's the thingy?
Uh,
Ruler.
You're 5 foot out of range.
Oh,
But to be honest, you could have gone there for the same movement and get it. So
can I?
if you just,
All right.
yeah, if you just go in there, ignore that yellow area. I'm trying to delete it. Again, my computer's being so
Ah.
slow.
I'm just drawing things. Wait, hold on.
We're super organized.
Slick.
So slick. We're professionals.
Woo.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, and then I'll do the bonus action one. Just That's not gonna.
That hits, yeah.
Oh, all right.
That does hit. It just hits. But obviously only does the 6 damage because of
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So, but that's still not bad. And I believe that's
I
your
think
go,
that's what I
yeah.
can do. Yeah.
Liam will he hasn't hunter's marked this one or slayer's prayed it, but I think he can move his hunter's mark for a bonus action, so he'll do
Yes.
that. So he's going to attack this one twice with the extra d6. So 1, 2. Oh, the first one's in that one. The second one hits though for 10 points of damage plus, if I move the turn order, an extra 5, so that's 15 points of damage. Is not bad. Okay. It is Cadman's go.
Alright, I believe it's a. What is it? I can use an action to move the moonbeam, so I'll move it to there.
Yep.
So
If you can move it, because I don't think. Oh, wait, hang on.
no, it's a drawing. I don't know how to move it.
I just redraw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd still ignore it.
B, one thing.
I don't know what I'm doing. Yes. What?
With deleting dead, you've actually removed this last creature from the turn order. It was on 5.
Yes.
Did I? Oh no. Well, it's about to die anyway. So, oh no. Technically, no, it won't because I say technically, I can't select it. The moonbeam's over it.
Yeah.
So have you got any bonus actions or anything that you can do?
Does that count for the first time it enters, or?
No, because it goes on its go.
And
because that'll be
it's
the
not. Yeah, and it's not entering it.
yeah, and
You're
putting
moving
it
it.
over it. Moonbeam's a weird spell, the way it's worded.
Yeah.
So it's its go, as Andy rightly pointed out. So it takes that damage, so you might as well.
Yeah, it's a con save.
Oh, it's a con save. It's a Constitution save.
She's 16 for me.
Oh, it failed with a 13.
And what level did I cast it at?
I don't think you increased the casting. I think it's just a standard cast.
Well,
Should be
let's have a
level
look up because it will tell us.
Can you tell from what
Yes.
slots you've used?
Well, I've got loads of slots missing because I haven't managed to complete my rest yet.
Oh yeah, we haven't, have we?
It's either a level 2 or a level 3.
Just go for a level 3. I'm not too worried about this. Like, it's the last thing.
So it'll be 3d10.
Well, the last thing that you can see.
Not great.
12. Cool. Is that the total damage, yeah?
Yeah, that's total damage.
6.
12.
Cool. It's going to lash out at Raphy because Raphy's within its range, and it
It has an advantage against me.
it does have advantage against you. It also no, it's already done that, so you're already constricted. It's fine.
Mhm.
25.
Yeah.
That hits.
Yeah.
You take 29 points of damage. 19 if that is poison.
Cool.
No, so I'm immune to poison, so I only take
you take
10.
10.
Yeah.
10 is bludgeoning.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Raphy, it is your go.
Well, I'm just going to lash out with my astral arms.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, you remember the end last time you've got
Yeah, it's
reach with them, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 foot.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I'm at disadvantage for that one. That doesn't hit.
Doesn't.
And then I'll do
That's
that
a lot
again.
of nat ones. Oh no.
14.
It's just one. 14 hits. Yep.
Yeah. 10
So
points
that's
of force
10
damage.
points of force. It's looking real unwell.
I'll put a stunning strike on that. So
Sure.
can he do a con save?
6 probably fails.
Yeah, 6 fails. So I'm going to then attack again at standard because it's now stunned. I get advantage against the disadvantage for me constrained, so it's just a straight roll.
Yep. You kill it.
Yay!
Is dead. Yay. As everything comes to a rest, just in this brief moment, I'm going to keep you in initiative order. What does Beren do in these 6 seconds?
I will scan round for other targets.
You see, I'll move them in now because they will move in on their turn. If I can get them. In fact, just going to describe it. Many more of these tree monsters start heading towards you guys.
The small ones.
No, the large ones. Gliding out of the forest, you see 6, 8, 10 of these things surrounding you, and they're coming closer and fast. There is very little time to act. So then you have 6 seconds to do something.
I shall.
Each person has an action.
Yeah, I shall call a warning.
Yep.
I'm trying. Did we work out last time that fire was very effective against them?
Yes, very effective. Super effective, one could say.
I shall call a warning and actually I shall yeah, I'm quite badly wounded. Is Raphy's wound state up to date?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've still got more than a century.
Okay. So I am going to do what's it called? Lay on hands on myself.
Yep.
And I will put 40 into me.
You place your hand on your chest.
Yep.
Pulse of healing magic surges through you, and you feel yourself revitalized by the gift of your god. Darrell?
Darrell moves to the middle of the group.
Yep.
selects the select tool, so you can do that. It says, if everyone gathers in, I can put a wall of fire around us.
All right.
Get within 10 feet of me,
Cool.
20-foot diameter.
So
And
do you hold your action
I'll
to
hold
do that?
action to cast wall of fire.
Excellent.
But I'll only do it if everyone's in.
Yes. So Liam says, good thinking, and stands back to back with you with his bow and arrow taut. He is holding an action to shoot anything that comes within his range. Hendrix.
You're muted, Ben.
I bet he's not even there, but he's left.
Sorry, just realised I'm mute. Yeah, I'll bimble over there. I think I've got enough move to get there. So.
Yes, yeah, you would have.
And then I don't know.
Nothing will be in your range, but you can hold an action.
Can I can't remember, but I'm sure Hendrix would. Did they have any kind of area effect weapons? These big things,
Area effect weapons.
or attacks.
They did a call thing, and obviously restraining it, and obviously restraining everybody.
There was no spells thrown or anything.
Yeah.
No, there was no spells.
No,
the large tree creatures could do a ranged attack with
thrown things, wasn't
thrown
it?
objects. Yeah.
Does it cover multiple squares?
No, it's only one target. So
Okay.
Calculated whether he's safer by himself. Or
I know, right? Coward. Courage to cowardly dogs. This was
Absolutely.
Cadman.
Moving, and I will. There's nothing I can really do here.
Okay. You can hold an action.
Yeah, I have to hold a moving action.
Should anything come in
Best
range.
bet.
And Raphy.
Same again.
Yep.
Because I've got a decent move, so I'll move there. No, actually, I'll go and move next to Cadman.
Okay.
Right. Now I need to try and draw a 20-foot circle.
If you click your character and just click
put an
20-foot
aura.
radius.
Yeah.
Sorry, 20-foot radius or 20-foot diameter?
Diameter, unfortunately.
Oh, 10-foot radius then. But that's still pretty significant, to be fair. And everyone's in it. So
I cast a spell.
Darrell casts this wall of fire. And flames sprout up from the ground, wreathed around you all. As you see the oncoming horde of these giant tree creatures. Hendrix, you feel it first, having that dog's intuition. The hair on your hackles stands on ends, and you feel that shiver of something not right.
Oh no, Reggie.
Reggie.
Okay.
Everyone else, you start to feel a shift, a sense of vertigo, as if you're about to fall over or be sick. The ground starts to rumble underneath you, and it starts to get more violent, and the oncoming tree creatures are struggling to move forward towards you. But it gets very violent, so much so that you're struggling to stand up, and everything goes quiet for a half a second before a boom hits you all, a wave you feel that comes from the south. Flying debris passes you before you all pass out. You are unconscious.
Oh,
Bloody
fair.
waste of a 4th level spell slot.
All dead. Good game, guys.
Yeah.
Good game.
That's
So
good. That's good.
the next
Good,
game,
good.
yeah.
So Ben, when do you-
I told you. No, I'm joking. I'd like everyone to make me constitution saving throws to
Right.
see who wakes up first.
Do any paladin bonuses to other people apply?
Yeah,
Unconscious, I
yeah.
believe.
Not if the paladin's unconscious.
None of the auras work when you're unconscious, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If that's true, then no.
Does that mean that our own saves go down?
Technically, yes, because they're added to your saves.
Oh, that's
While
not.
you're
That's
conscious.
actually.
Aura of protection is while you're conscious. Aura of courage is while you're conscious. My aura of warding is not.
Wow.
We still have resistance to spell damage, guys.
Okay. So what do we get? Is that +4?
No, you don't get the +4. That's while you're conscious.
Oh, okay.
So that's protection against what?
Magic
Protection.
spells.
Aura of protection, which is the plus to saving throws, is while you're conscious.
Okay. What was the one that works even when you're unconscious?
Wards,
Aura of warding, which is mine, which gives you everyone resistance to spell damage.
which is the Order of the Ancients.
Ah, very nice. Right.
I don't know if you've got a special aura or not.
I'm just looking. I don't think I do.
These paladins. No.
Um,
Not knowing what their orders do.
Darrell's con save is actually only a 7 because the +5 is for concentration.
Gotcha. Which obviously he does
This
not
isn't-
get in this moment. That's perfect though. So Cadman, that'll be lesser though, wouldn't it?
There'll be 4 less.
4 less, that's fine.
Because Arthur
And 4
built.
less for that. So
No,
19.
three less for me.
3 less for you, so that's 20. So I think the first person to wake up is Baron.
You done a wisdom.
I've done a wisdom, not a con. Idiot.
So how have you got +10 in con?
Well,
So that would
there
be
we go.
10. That would be 10. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
I was thinking about my wisdom bonus comes off, and then I'm hit with. Sorry.
So that's all right, don't worry. So Cadman, yours is 4 less, so that means Hendrix wakes up first. If my maths is correct.
It is.
Of course the dog wakes up first, because then it's going to
Yeah.
lick everyone awake.
It makes a lot of sense. And here is the scene.
Okay.
Hendrix, you feel like every part of your body is aching. You feel like you're a bag of broken bones.
Oh.
Though it is light, the sun has come up, so you and your companions, with a quick look around, they are still around you.
Are we still in the same location?
Yes,
All right. Okay.
there is windswept trees, more than windswept, completely flat to the ground, pointing in a northerly direction all around you. The tree monsters that were making their way towards you completely obliterated by this blast of whatever it was. You wake up. You may take a long rest, and I will say this to everyone: everybody can take a long rest. However, any spells does not refresh, and in fact you lose any spell slots you have. There is no magic within any of you. You have been drained.
Oh. Does that include psionic?
I'm going to not count abilities
Okay.
for the moment.
So key and psionic are still
Key and psionic
refreshed.
are fine. It's more arcane.
So
Then-
if I do a
I say arcane and divine. So paladins and the wizard lose your spells, unfortunately. If you have spell slots, they're gone.
and the ranger as well, I assume as well.
Yeah,
As
he
the
loses
first
special.
awake, Hendrix, you taking a quick look around. Everybody is there except Liam.
Right.
Okay.
Oh crap.
So mechanically, if I just do a long rest and then,
And then just mark off your spells.
but so for example, I've recovered all of my lay on hands ability.
Yes. So just click long rest and then in the spells list, click them off.
Yep. Okay.
Can I see what else I can perceive by sort of smelling and
Yep.
stuff? Can I get a scent of Liam actually?
Yeah,
as one of
you
the main
can
things?
make a perception check with advantage. Because you get advantage because of smells. Which you didn't need because they're both pretty high. You sniff around the area. You can smell where he had been thrown to the floor. You can see the foliage where he was bent and broken. You can smell a strange scent next to him where he was, as if he had stood up and gone to leave, and then something else there is a different scent from there onwards.
Okay.
Very familiar in a weird way. Strangely canine.
Ooh.
But not quite.
And it's not the dog things that we encountered before.
Dog
Nothing
things.
else.
Or
No.
the Black Hunt.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You have those guys in your nose
Yeah.
directory. Just check the scent directory. No, it's not these. As you're sniffing about, you do catch a new smell that is thoroughly unfamiliar to you on the breeze, and you look over, and standing next to probably some of the lesser ruined trees, the ones still standing or at least only half bent, is a person, a man. And he seems to be eyeing you curiously, whilst also his arm is out with an owl on it. It's Darrell's owl.
Oh.
And he seems to be talking with it.
What's his dress like?
He's dressed in he's got woad, so paint swirled over his face and body. He's got hide armor, very old style garbs, but mixed in with a lot of nature things, a lot of woven and foraged materials add to his look. At this point, who's the next to wake up?
Cadman, I think.
Is it Cadman? Yeah. Cadman, you start to slowly wake up. You see pretty much that everybody's there except Liam, and that Hendrix is investigating something.
I see the old man.
Yep. Yeah, you follow where Hendrix is looking. You can see this man.
I'll put myself between him and the rest of the party in a defensive stance.
Yeah. He's about 50 foot away from the party. You can see that he nods towards Remy and lifts his arm. Remy flies off into a tree nearby, hooting in a bid to wake up Darrell, you think, and this person picks up his spear, holding it like a walking stick, starts to walk towards you.
Maybe we can talk from where you are at the minute, and I kick whoever's next to me or behind me now.
Cool. I think you could probably kick everybody awake from where you are. You've all got within 5 foot of each other.
I flex
So
my wings, so I just slaps them all.
there you go. Wings beat down, and suddenly you're all jolted awake. It is light, so you can all see what's going on, and you can all start to rouse. Darrell, as soon as you are awoken and wake up, Remy does fly down to greet you.
Okay.
As soon as I wake up, I'm going to roll away from everyone and just take a defensive stance, looking around everything, because I have no idea what's just happened.
I shall pick up sword and shield and take a defensive stance, but based on the sort of mental image I'm getting, Cadman's closest to it, Raphy's to one side, so I'll cover the back as such.
You all form this protective detail around each other, back to back. Cadman and Hendrix both facing towards this man. Remy lands on Darrell's shoulder, and hoots gratefully that you're awake. This man stops where he is, but he looks puzzled, and I will show you a picture of what this guy looks like. If I can. There you are. Show to players.
Okay.
Everyone get that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
He says something, and it's in a language I don't think any of you understand.
Is it Sylvan?
Apologies. Some of you do definitely understand.
Yeah,
I
Darrell
think-
understands Sylvan as well.
Sorry, no. Apologies. None of you understand this language.
Is it primordial?
No.
Do I suddenly
Baron-
remember how to speak it?
Well, make me a history check. That's what I was getting at. I believe the DC was 15.
That's a natural 20.
Yes. You suddenly, as the words come to your ears, it's like your brain, a part of your brain switches on, and it translates it almost immediately. What you hear is, strangers, you have disturbed this realm. A lot of you hear Middle Welsh.
Middle
is-
Welsh.
Yeah, as in Welsh from the early to middle medieval age.
I wonder if he is the only gay in the village.
He's not daffy.
I
Is
shall.
that Red language then?
Fucking elves.
I shall take a step forward as the sort of memories of speaking this come back to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I shall say to him, say that again. I think I understood you.
You have disturbed the balance of this realm. What brings you here?
We are on a noble quest.
Your noble quest has caused great upset. Morwood has sent me to ask for your help. I am not sure it's wise.
For him to ask for our help or for us to help you?
No. Morwood, she has sent me to you. You are new strangers here. We have had many new strangers in recent weeks. It is unusual to have so many in a short amount of time. You say you are here on a quest. A
Yes, we are.
purpose. What purpose?
We seek the Fountain of Youth.
What is the Fountain of Youth?
That is not an answer I was hoping for you to say.
You were hoping there is a Fountain of Youth here.
We have information that there is from the person that sent us on the quest.
Seems to think about it for a moment. Maybe it goes by another name.
Maybe it does.
There is many powerful things in Care City. But many people have come and they do not succeed and they die. And they add to the Dark Mage's army.
Do you by any chance speak English?
No, I do not know what this English is.
Okay.
Perhaps my tongue would be better suited to the Fae. And he says that in Sylvan, so anybody that can speak Sylvan hears that.
Right. I also I made the roll before to speak Sylvan.
Yes.
So unless you're going to rule
speak.
I've forgotten it in the meantime.
No.
So who else speaks Sylvan though?
Darrell speaks to him.
And Cadman.
Cadman, Darrell, and Baron.
Yeah. Okay.
Hendrix, do you? I can't remember. I don't think he does.
There's not a lot of barking in Sylvan.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute again. No, I don't.
No.
I shall then switch to English and just bring the others up, bring them up to speed.
Wait, wasn't it? It's not a fountain of youth, isn't it? A giant pot of dead bringing back things. Probably the evil wizard thing he's talking about, no?
We've come here to get water. I assumed water would come from a fountain. Have I made a?
Yeah.
All I know is when we were looking at stuff in the library, it wasn't it that the legend was something about this big.
It's a cauldron.
Cauldron, that's the word. With
Cauldron.
where people were dunked in it when they were dead, and they can come back to life again.
I'm not sure there's dunked in it, but they were put inside it. But I thought the story suggested it was destroyed.
Yeah. All right. I must have fallen asleep there in that.
Hey, yeah.
As an OC note, just so that you don't think that there's misinformation happening, all of the information is correct that you're saying. Everybody has said correct things that has been said. So you have been told there was a fantasy of youth. You have been told that there was a cauldron and it was destroyed. But obviously,
Conflicting stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And sorry, I missed. Was it Mordreth? Was it
Mordwith.
Morwood.
Morwood? And I should say that he appears to be working for someone called Morwood, who is opposed to the evil wizards and may have a task for us.
Do we know that name? Is that one of the ones that we've encountered? Where's the notes?
this, I don't even think it could be a check. It's sort of like, unless you've been to this place before, it's yeah.
No, but it's not one of the names that we've already encountered in the
No,
mission.
no, not a name you've come across before. The Ruby Jacks never mentioned, obviously, anyone talking to them at all. Yeah, and there was the diary you read from the 1709, I think it was, something like that. That never mentioned anything either.
And it wasn't in any of the stories either.
No.
Okay.
So
So, what is it that Morwed wishes us to do?
she wishes for me to ask for your help. There
And
has been.
who are you?
Forgive me. It has been some time since I have given hospitality. My name is Huel. What is your
Greetings.
name?
I am Berin, and I
Baron.
shall go. Well, actually, no. I'll let those people introduce themselves. It's very clearly I'm saying Berin and point to myself, so I'll let others. I don't know if anyone wants to give a false name or anything. So I will not be presumptuous enough to name people.
Quick question. Considering that my background is Welsh, would have I understood him in the first place?
Uh,
I'm Welsh pagan, aren't I?
I think it was more north. I mean, to be honest, probably. But I don't know whether we wrote it down on your character sheet. I think thematically it makes sense.
I've possibly forgotten it by now, to be fair.
Yeah. So kind
One
of.
spoken language.
I think for the moment, you have the GCSE knowledge of Middle Welsh. You can say hello, goodbye, and where's the library, right?
Is Middle Welsh at all related to Modern Welsh?
Yes, it's got a lot of roots. That's kind of where it's very linked. So it is very feasible to understand passably what's going on if you know Welsh. So he, Baron introduces himself. Nobody else seems to.
Well,
Well,
yeah. In fairness,
Yeah, go for it.
Darrell would step forward, and I didn't see the owl with him, did I? Would he have-
I think it flew off before, like it. Remy'd flown to you as you're waking up, but you can communicate like telepathically with Remy, and Remy does give you images of them having a conversation.
And in that case, do I get the feeling that Remy doesn't feel intimidated by him?
Yes, no. In fact, during the Remy had been up in the air when the blast hit and was flown completely off course. Huel had come and scooped him up and basically carried him part way until he was ready to fly again back to you. And Remy was the one that guided him to you guys.
Okay.
So he'll show you that journey of suddenly finding himself on the floor, like bit ruffled, Huel coming, speaking Sylvan to him, being quite gentle, and then explaining that he was here for his masters, as in Remy's masters, and then Remy being compliant enough to basically lead the way back to you guys.
Okay, I'll step forward and say, I'm Darrell. You've clearly met my familiar Rembrandt, and I thank you for the care you gave him.
Of course, he is much familiarity to Our Lady. Arian Rude has a great link and care for owls. It is a fine thing to find one when this forest has been so empty for so long. I must ask your help. Morwood has said the disruption that you may have caused by coming here. A great calamity has befallen the stranger. He is dead. Nothing else could have caused the untethering of Care City from the mortal realm. We are adrift. There is no way back. Someone must
that is a
take.
problem.
Oh shit!
Morwood has said someone must take charge of the ley lines. She believes one or the other must take the reins. We must do as she bids. So this is why I have come to you.
Do you mean someone must replace the stranger?
Yes, someone of great power. Morwood has said that there are only two options. There is the Tinged one. I'm going to write the word Tinged. And anyone that wants to make a history check, they can.
It's Morwood, Morwed, by the way.
Morwood is nice and simple.
Morwood, okay. So.
Mm.
And so you want history checks on?
If you want to know what Tinged means.
Yeah, why not?
I presume this is all in Sylvan, so I haven't got a Scooby what anyone.
Yeah, you haven't got a Scooby, but
Yeah,
you
I
could have
don't either,
heard.
actually.
I mean, you would have heard the word Tinged, but it's up to you
I
whether
will-
out of all
I
of the
will-
other words, yeah.
I will periodically translate, but
To save brevity between things.
Yeah.
Things can be translated by Baron, so the conversation is a bit stilted. But yeah, I think Baron, you're the only one that kind of recognizes the word. It means cursed. And
a cursed one.
yes. So who
That's
else
Liam,
says?
then.
The Morwood believes that the only people that are powerful enough, that is viable, is the Tinged one and the Dark Mage. They have been in war with each other for many, many years. None could gain over the other. But now, and he looks around, and obviously, without Liam, your ability to traverse this forest is incredibly difficult. However, where you're feeling completely drained of power, the plant life is completely dead, as in still rather than dead.
Inanimate.
It's not, yeah, it's not animated at all. There's no creeping vines. There's nothing. In fact, the only sound is the occasional very, very soft rustle of insects from the carrion beetles and insects that exist here.
I'm
but
gonna
very few.
I'm gonna poke Baron and say, "Where's Liam?"
Mhm.
Ask him.
Oh well. Do you know where one of our party is missing? a ranger by the name of Liam.
Yes. He is with Morwood. And she is healing him.
Did you take
He-
him there?
No. He left. She will find him. He is in safe hands if he follows what she says.
So I shall say to Raphy and Hendricks, Hoyle says that Liam has left and is being guided and going to be healed by Morwood.
I smell a canine smell from where he was. I don't know. Does he have that ability?
Liam doesn't. I shall say to Hoyle, my friend there, and I point at Hendricks, can smell the scent of another dog.
You speak with a dog.
Woof.
Of all the things, is that what strikes you as the weirdest?
No. Many things are strange. But you say another dog.
So my friend there believes, yes.
Your friend, he turned. He fled because and he points towards the sky, the blood ward over the moon was destroyed with the disruption.
Okay, I'm just going to keep a running commentary of this going.
Yeah.
So,
Blood ward.
what is a blood ward?
He kind of takes a deep breath and says, I may tell you all you need to know. Perhaps we should find comfort. It may be a long story. And he will move closer to you if you allow him to. And find somewhere amongst this rubble to kind of sit down and perch himself closer to you all. He kind of stares and waits for you all to come out of your defensive stance, and it's up to you whether you do or not. But he does wait a little while to see if that happens.
Hendrix just goes and sits down next to him.
He
Has a little
smiles
sniff
at
to see
you.
if he's got food on him.
Yeah, he's got like a pouch on his hip that seems to have like dried meat in it.
Ooh.
He'll see you sniffing around, and he
Does
takes
snuff all around, go around to go.
He'll pull a piece out for you. Just
Nice.
drop
Innocent
it down.
friend.
I'm going to go back to where I set up my hammock and everything and start putting it all back in my bag.
Yep. You guys are at your camp, so it's literally all there.
So I've still got a distance between us, but I can hear what he's saying.
Yeah. There is obviously your bits and pieces have been flung across this area. It's not hard to pick all the pieces up, though. The only thing missing is Liam, and he waits obviously for a moment and then begins to explain.
Can I use my psychic thing to talk to people, include him in that?
Yes. So your psychic thing, I believe, does it? Because it's psychic. No, I suppose it is.
Have you still got
Still
that connection
based
to
on-
Liam though? Before you start,
I don't know. It depends how many hours it's been.
and what range
It was
is it?
only 2 hours. It would have gone
It's
by
a
now,
mile.
but don't know what the range is.
It's a mile.
But I believe if you go unconscious, Does it still remain? I don't know. It might say regardless.
Hold on.
We've learned something new today. I didn't realise. I thought that Hendrix was a magical dog, but he's actually a psychic dog.
A psychic dog. He's just a normal dog with psychic powers. That's it.
Clearly.
Clearly.
What's so hard to understand about that?
Yeah, duh. Okay.
As long as you are within 1 mile.
Oh, okay.
Don't need to speak a common language.
That's the thing. So you
Doesn't say anything
can
about being conscious.
technically link yourself up with Huel and Raphy to make it so that the translation comes through psychically so everyone understands as he's talking. So he talks Sylvan and you can connect up like that connection. Where's my notes? I've lost.
Past 3 hours.
All right. Brilliant. He doesn't seem too perturbed or shocked even by the connection. So assumedly that's something that he's familiar with. Where is my god? Oh, that's why, because I named him something else. Okay. So yeah, you asked about the blood ward.
Yes.
And he sort of props himself against a tree, begins to talk. You are in the realm Care City. We are the children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren of the goddess Iron Druid, who created this land. We serve her and her lands, but she has not been here for a very, very long time. She was last here when her brother, the Tinged one, chased her into this realm. And they fought, a goddess and a god, against each other for decades, a century. None could gain advantage over the other. Eventually, Iron Druid had to sacrifice a part of her essence to gain her own advantage. It came at a cost. On her altar sits the silver wheel. She cut her own hand and bled on it. The moon in this realm, which gave her and her brother power, was covered, so neither could gain its benefits. Whilst he was weakened, Iron Druid's children, her first children, bound Gwydion, her brother, to a form of a wild boar, an animal not able to fully have access to his god powers. He remains here, and she had to flee. She has not returned.
So the Tinged one's real name is Gwydion.
Gwydion, yes.
Gwydion.
You say is a white boar.
A wild boar.
Wild boar.
There is some white on him, you could say. He is very old.
And he's the brother of Iron Druid, and they were
Yes.
fighting.
Yes.
And he is here in Care City, but she is not.
Yes. We fear that she is long since passed. She never returned to us.
But you just said that you'd been sent by her.
By
No.
Mordred.
Oh, Mordred. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Sorry.
Mordred.
So Mordred is just.
Priestess of Iron Druid, by the sounds of it.
Is that right?
Is that-
That is a good estimation, yes. Morwood is a grandchild directly from Iron Druid. She shares her blood. There is very few of us left, and he points towards where you know the revolving castle is. We defend ourselves, unable to have any presence over this place. We are few in number. All we can do is protect the small portion of Arian Rude's property, her realm.
So should we go with you to that castle?
There would be no benefit to this. Morwood has asked that I ask. You choose. Gwydion or the Dark Mage.
And do what?
One of them must take control of the ley lines. Only they are powerful.
Who's the Dark Mage? I got the story about the brother and the sister. Who's the Dark Mage?
This is the guy who's controlling all the undead.
Okay.
Yes.
Where did he come into it?
His name once ago was Evnisian.
How do you spell that?
We've encountered that one. That's
Yes, you have.
Is he the one who did the cauldron?
Yes.
And does this cauldron give people eternal life?
It brings them back from the dead, as I believe, but it is long lost somewhere in Care City. If this is your fountain of youth, it would be a poor prize. Though perhaps I was too quick to dismiss. The waters here have properties of healing. But
All of the waters?
The closer to where the tinged one is most powerful, but it is very hard to access because he guards it viciously.
And so when you say that we should pick one, are you meaning pick one to persuade to go and take on this role, or are you meaning pick one to kill so that the other one then can be persuaded by Morwood to take on this role?
Both seek power for themselves. It would not be hard to persuade either one. I believe Morwood intends that you offer your help to tip the scales in their never-ending war.
Why us? Why can't she make this decision?
Morwood is... There is few of us. And Morwood has made her position known. She cannot put herself in danger. If she dies, the last of her Rude's blood leaves this land.
But you're willing to give up access to other realms to either this Dark Mage or Gwydion. So that would just weaken her position even more. Why can't she take the position of the stranger or one of her people like yourself?
I won't lie. I want her to take that position. Me and those of us still left in the castle want her to take control, but it would mean we would have to fight both sides. She believes that would be folly.
So if we say, right, if we say went to see the Tinged One, offered to help him defeat the Dark Mage in return for some of this healing water.
And a transport home, I would imagine.
Yeah, okay, yes. Is that going to help Morwood, or?
It is not a matter of help. We have been in a state of stalemate for thousands of years. No, at least 1,000 years. It is difficult for us to get involved as we are now. There is too much our enemies know about us for us to do things. You are new, and Morwood has said that it is your coming here which has caused this issue. Only something from the outside could have destroyed the stranger.
The stranger was fine when we left him.
What does Morwood gain?
Stability. If the Tinged One takes control, he will have his forests back. He may have his plants, and we will continue as we always have. If the mage takes control, then he will have his army, and we will remain as we always have.
So
Nothing
Morwood
changes for us.
So Morwood is at this current time strong enough to hold off two people. If one person is destroyed, or then it still remains a stalemate. If she's strong enough to keep two people at stalemate, if she goes down to one enemy, is she not strong enough to take control at that point and then bring Iron Druid back?
I don't think she's strong enough to take on two.
That's what I'm saying.
No one wants to fully divert all their forces against one in case the other sees the gap.
But I'm saying she's keeping two people at a stalemate. If one is got rid of, then she would be free to deal with the other one. Is that correct?
I cannot pretend to know that.
You got 3 equal players. You go down to 2 equal players. It's still a stalemate, isn't it?
I believe
because they're all going off against one another. Sorry, Bea.
Morwood does not always impart to us her reasoning. She knows things. Her powers are of divinatory. She seems to believe that you are the people for the job. And this will free us eventually. Whichever choice you choose, it should help us. Maybe not directly, maybe not immediately.
My personal thoughts, and these are only mine, is that the Dark Mage, the one who this Ethnician who's dealing with the undead, that person, it should be the one that he's dealt with and potentially destroyed. And given what I know of Liam, I think he would agree that the undead are the enemy.
I certainly think that's my thoughts as well.
And whilst they fought, families fight, but they can also reconcile.
That is assuming that Iron Druid is still with us and not in the Summerlands. Darrell, you know that the Summerlands is like the afterlife for Fae, and
Is Ethnician at all related to
Gwydion.
the Tigid one and Gwydion?
So,
not by blood. You could say that we are all related to those who created us, but no, Ethnician is just a man. A powerful man, but just a man.
can I go back to... Go.
The choices are kill a powerful man or kill a cursed god.
Yes. Or both. He laughs.
So can I just cycle back to the stranger and the fate of the stranger?
Yes.
Can he be killed from this side of the...
No.
So it's in the mortal realm.
Yes. The tethers of ley lines can be taken control of from this side once we are untethered. It has only happened twice before. Both times was predicted and done in a controlled way. This is much more volatile.
Okay, so if the stranger is dead, he was killed after we came through.
Yes.
The coincidence of that happening straight after we came through suggests that it has a connection with our coming here. Is there anyone in this party, and I look around my compatriots, who has someone who really doesn't want them to come back and knew that where we were going? Because all intents and purposes, we are now stranded in a bubble realm.
No one knows I was coming here, although my role within the mortal realm would have far-reaching consequences if I or my spirit never returned. I don't know if I die here, my spirit would return.
Okay, I suppose what I'm saying is, although we weren't personally responsible for the death of the stranger, I think it may be as a consequence of our being here that someone didn't want us to return.
Yeah, it could be something connected to one of us personally, or it could be something connected to our quest. And I don't understand why someone.
Our quest is as simple as to heal an old lady.
But is there something to be gained from preventing her being healed? I agree. I think it seems
The powers that be
far-fetched.
doesn't seem to be against that happening. There was no momentous decision to be made. It was just whether we were allowed to come or not.
And it didn't happen when the Ruby Jacks came.
No, not true.
So it's more likely to be linked to one of us.
I agree. I don't. I agree. It's much more likely to be linked to one of us. Don't dismiss it. Just don't dismiss that as completely unconnected.
We have no choice, I see, as if we ever want to return.
Oh yeah. We've got no choice. And
we just need to be aware when we do return that I feel that there might be someone out to get one of us, or all of us for that matter.
I've had disagreements in my life, but I don't think there's anyone out there to get me like this.
Yes, I feel there are.
Luck's usually more on my side than against it.
I doubt there's someone. No, actually, I don't know if there's someone out to get me. Let's be fair.
There is a lot of conflict in Faye at the moment. I'm not sure if
Did you have a position within Fairy?
not officially, no. I know and have some influence with some people in Fairy.
From what I know of you lot, my feeling is that it is an enemy of either myself, Liam, or you, Darrell. Liam, because he's specifically a hunter, and a hunter of powerful things.
Vampires.
Yeah. Me, because of who I am and my responsibilities back in the mortal realm.
Who are you?
Yeah, I am Raphy Matthews. I am.
Expand on
man.
why you would be a target.
Uh,
By the
I'm
way, sorry,
really-
just B. I think this is now all taking place in English.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Huel is like just sitting there watching you with a bemused expression on his face. He's got enough insight to kind of guess that there's a lot of things that he doesn't need to know the information of. So
Okay. But yeah, sorry, so carry on, Tom.
I'm a reincarnated spirit, reincarnated soul. The whole cycle of rebirth, etc., etc., etc. And that soul was one of 13 warriors who actually went into the realm of Xibalba and stopped the demons coming into our world. It's an ongoing fight that's been going for centuries. People die and are reborn, die and reborn to that fight. But potentially, if one of the 13 is trapped away from the world, I don't know if that soul will be reincarnated. So that's my job. That's what I do.
Sorry, as a character, we've come across that name Xibalba before, haven't we? Or
No,
is that
I
just from,
think
is that
it's-
just from Raphy explaining things?
Yeah.
I
it's
think so, yeah.
from me using abilities.
Yeah, that he has an ability called Gates to Xibalba. So
Okay, that's what it is.
you
Okay,
would have
right,
heard it.
okay.
But anybody can make a history check on the word Xibalba because it is common. I say common knowledge. It's not like supernatural knowledge. It's like part of the
Ooh, no.
actual world. Baron didn't get shit all.
I got less than shit all.
Hendrix, you can't keep rolling twice, my guy.
Your first one was good.
Yeah, first one is good.
Sorry.
I'd say it's enough for again a GCSE knowledge of what it is. So Xibalba is a sort of Mesoamerican word for hell. It's the underworld. That's literally it. Other than that, you don't know a great deal more about it. But that's what Xibalba means.
I will disseminate that through the
So,
psychic.
Xibalba is a place.
It's like a realm in hell, but it's also the word for all of hell. So it's like
It's a district of hell.
it's a district of hell, but
Yeah.
it can also mean all of hell depending on the context of how you're using it. So when Raphy uses his ability Gates to Shabalba, he's sending them specifically to that place, to Shabalba. But it can also mean I'm going to send you back to Shabalba. That could just be anywhere in hell.
And how do you spell Shabalba? Just for...
Yeah, I spelled it.
Okay.
Okay, I had that completely wrong.
Yeah, it's funky spelling.
On the track that it's not related to us. While you guys were all out, I was looking around the house of that dude who's sent us here, and
Renwick.
yeah, him. And there's a lot of strange sort of symbols in his house. Anvils crossed with weapons, something to do with Celtic religion, or Celtic pantheon. Does it mean anything to anyone?
Well, this
And
is
I'll
a,
include the other guy in the Huel in that.
You're going to include Huel into it?
Yeah, sure. Just
In
for you,
fairness,
you know.
if I'm going to ask about ancient stuff, I'll see if someone recognises it as well.
Yeah, sure. Roll me a religion or history check for Summer.
Sorry, did we get checks on this, or have we already had?
You can, because I think Hendrix is asking everybody.
Iron Druid is Celtic goddess. We know that from the books that were found.
Yep.
So this entire place, and Care City is a Welsh Celtic
Yes. So
name.
yeah. So the Celtic nations are Ireland, Scotland, Wales,
Cornwall.
Isle of Man. I think that's it. I might be missing another one in there, but okay. So history checks as we are. I don't think anybody history or religion. Sorry, nobody kind of just yet. Was that supposed to be insight, or was that?
No, it wasn't. That was me rolling the wrong thing. It's the same. It's the same modifier.
Same thing. Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, so we'll just keep it as is. Darrell, sort of, Huel thinks for a moment. He can't figure it out. He's spending too long thinking about it. And Darrell, it kind of clicks for you. You're kind of cycling through those lessons that Frank used to sit and talk to you about. Having to know certain things if you were going to take on the mantle of the summer night one day. One of the main duties, which was conferring with the Tuatha De Danann in Tir na Nog, very, very important. So he listed all of the gods. The one that sticks out to you as the anvil is Govnu, and I will. Oh God, I'm going to horribly misspell this, so I'm going to have to find the.
As you know, I'm not keeping notes now. I'm going to watch the video back and then make them then. There's just too much stuff.
Yes, yeah. Honestly,
you.
that's what I've been doing. I've been doing as well.
Ben, what was the
Sorry.
symbol? Was it anvil and cross with crossed swords? Was it?
Anvil
weapons.
crossed with a weapon is what I've written.
Yes.
I can't remember exactly what was said.
Govnu, who is the Celtic god of. Oh, what's come up? Oh no, go away. He was the metalsmith of the Tuatha De Danann. He made the legendary weapons for the gods. He was also about
And to make a giant ass cauldron, did he?
I have no idea.
Probably.
Maybe it could be linked that far back, but not intentionally by me in the story. So it is unrelated in that sense. But he his notable achievement was when Nuada, who was one of the first to Edadan, had his hand chopped off. He
With
crafted
silver
him a
hand.
silver hand, and that's why he became Argatlam, which means Nuada silver hand. So he's kind of like, it kind of makes sense to you now that you know Govnu, Metalsmith, about knowledge and crafting and things like that. Renwick's fascination with knowledge of items and artifacts and things like that is kind of, and the fact that he's a cleric, because he's told you that he's a cleric, so that's his mage abilities is comes from Govnu. It's all about that basically. He's knowledge domain cleric. You can maybe assume that there's a connection there with the cauldron. I think whilst you were doing your research, Hendrix, he was there when you were like discovering the thing about the Per Dedini, which is the cauldron.
Mhm.
And he didn't seem to be like, oh yeah, I knew about this the whole time. He was just as shocked to learn about it as you were, if
Okay.
you know what I mean. It was new information to him. So there we go. You need to update that languages for Middle Welsh.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how. Apologies.
Oh, I think you could just add it straight on.
So
We'll
for me,
let them-
then that doesn't feel like a thread that connects to why someone would try and trap us here. Like for he, just because he's a cleric of that god.
No, yeah, not him anyway. Yeah.
So, but that so.
But the other thing I was going to say is those things that attacked when we first got to the mansion.
A freak.
That's the ones. They very definitely sought something that was nearby to the woman, or was the old woman maybe, and then once they'd found it, they flew off very quickly. There could be a connection there as to why why they would want to prevent her from getting well.
Fair point.
Yep. Definitely something to note down later when you rewatch this video. Okay.
I suspect there are so many strands going on. We haven't got a Scooby of figuring it out at the moment.
I'm so sorry.
No.
You
Great.
provide a complex and engaging background.
I'm glad that it's complex and engaging rather than bullshit, fucking confusion, and I don't know why we're here.
Well, it's that as well, but
yeah. Oh God, it's
Still
a
she knows
fine
what's going
line.
on.
Yeah.
but just Raphy, going back to your point, I can see why you would be someone that some enemy of yours or of this 13 warriors, why they would try and imprison you somewhere else. That makes perfect sense. Did you tell anyone what you were doing and where you were going?
No.
So, I mean, we had only just met for...
It doesn't mean that people haven't been keeping an eye on me. And with Darrell having a unofficial position or like an inherited position or something.
My mother is a powerful being within the summer court. I'm not her favourite child. I'm her only child, but certainly not her favourite child. My father's mortal, and we shall not mention him at the moment. But I was brought up by the Summer Knight, who is again a powerful figure, although mortal, but a powerful figure within the Summer Court. Before we came on this mission, I was approached by a messenger for Sir Francis, the Summer Knight, asking for my help. this may be a way of stopping me helping. There's much conflict in the Fey Court. There is open war between the houses of the summer and the winter courts.
And those masked figures were connected to that war, were they not?
Yes, very possibly. They were Fey.
I believe so, yes.
You
So
established they were Fey.
it's beyond coincidence that they're not involved in some way. Sorry, out of character.
Yep.
We talked about the Everreef and that. Is it only Darrell who knows that? I can't remember.
What about
if we
the
had that character
Everreef?
in the Everreef? If we had that conversation in character?
I don't think we have.
Right.
No, there was such little time. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody got a download because it's been.
No.
I don't even think you told them that you were basically almost assassinated or accosted, as it were, on your way home and found that woman.
Happens all the time. Yeah. So
Yeah, just an everyday occurrence. But then again, Baron didn't tell anyone that he's also gone to some
But that's not
fucking
relevant.
goddess in the wood.
That's
Yeah,
not-
well, exactly. But none of it seems relevant.
yeah, there's a tangential reason for me not returning would have an effect on the conflict between the winter and the summer courts. I am by no means a major player, but I might be a small stone that starts the avalanche rolling, I guess.
Okay.
Hewell sits and just kind of smirks to himself as he hears you all talking.
Thinking they all think a lot of themselves, don't they?
He seems genuinely quite pleased, like that he's listening to this conversation, and he chuckles at points and he says, "It is good to have part of other conversations other than what Gwyn always goes on about. He is another of Morwood's servants like myself. We only have each other, really. It gets very dull."
But you said we shouldn't. There's no need for us to go and talk to Morwood.
It would be a waste of time, but
Because she sent you here to tell us that the stranger is dead and we need to pick a side.
she has chosen me to bring you this news and to beseech your help because she believes that you will make the correct choice
Right.
regardless.
The
Sorry
whole
if you
thing
guys
about
covered this while I was away, but does the moon the blood ward thing that's now gone from the moon now means that the boar fella is going to be a lot stronger?
Morwood
Yeah.
is going
So does that break the deadlock?
It would certainly have allowed him to amass some power, but both sides know how to access the power. They would both be more powerful for it. As is
They both.
Morwood.
Do you mean Iron Druid or do you mean the sorcerer fella?
Ethnician knows how to harness this power also.
Oh, he can do it as well. Oh, right, okay.
Okay.
It
So
is he
So it just levels up everyone.
yes, unfortunately.
Right.
Morwood believes that she can replenish the ward. It is a duty that we have been doing at her shrine. Your friend Liam, I believe she is going to request his help in this matter.
Put your throat down by that symbol.
Yeah.
Sorry, B. Just the whole thing about the stranger is dead, and we need to
Yep.
pick a side and so on.
Yep. If
I've just done an insight
for it,
check.
yeah.
Is he talking absolute bollocks?
No, he seems very open and genuine.
I thought he did, but I'm just.
Yes. No.
Suspicious bastard.
Well,
You
it's.
Yeah.
I've been sent to ask. I've sent my boss to ask you to do this. There's no need to go and talk to my boss about it.
Oh yes, you get the idea that when the two times that you've mentioned going back, he seems almost put out as if you're trying to go above his head. In the Beren realizes with a 15, although it's, I think for Beren, he recognizes that an old soldier sort of mentality here. He was given an objective. He's gone to go do it. He doesn't need to check in with his superiors until the objective is complete.
Okay.
And yeah, if you want to, I'm not going to stop you going back to visit Morgan.
No.
He's saying there's no need to.
Mhm.
He's not saying no. Just so that there's an element of sandbox here. I don't want to railroad you at all. But if you insist that you want to go talk to Morwood, he will. Yeah, you can do that. Whether he takes you there or you have to shoot him down or whatever, there is a contingency plan for that inevitability. Yeah.
Sorry, Hugh. Since we awoke, I've lost a certain amount of my power. Could
Yes.
this be linked to the Blood Ward?
It's not the Blood Ward. The shockwave from the stranger's death drained everything, including the Blood Ward, which is why it disappeared, and the trees have disanimated. I imagine he looks eastward. The mage's power has also diminished. You see where that storm was? There's almost like no storm there now. It's very much diminished. It's just grey clouds, really. Both sides are weakened until this evening.
Right.
I don't know if we are going to get our abilities back. He sort of like does this action with his hand, and you see that there's sort of like green sparks of flames that are trying to become a full flame, and it's just like fizzling out. I believe everything has been affected by the untethering.
If we enter into any conflict, it could be a bit tricky.
Yes.
If someone's depleted.
Potentially there is. If it would be better to visit either one whilst they are weakened, though you are also weakened, it is a gamble, a risk.
Yep.
Or you could wait until they are at full strength, but so are you.
In fairness, we had a deadline to beat for this quest anyway, for our other quest anyway, so I think we
2 more days, is that correct?
You have
but that was based on the stranger who's a
Yeah.
I thought it was based on the cycle of the moon.
Yeah, but the stranger's there to open.
Yeah, sorry, we can't get back without the stranger, but I thought our ability, we had to do it within 2 days, otherwise it's going to be here for a further month until the next cycle of the moon.
Yeah, I got that. That's my understanding as well.
Yeah, you also know that time passes differently here.
Yeah.
So, your 2 nights here, because it was during the full moon, would only be 2 nights on the mortal realm. You don't know what change that's going to be now that you're untethered.
Everyone we know's dead. Okay.
100 years. We're in a sci-fi. No, I'm joking.
Let's stick to our original timeline. If both sides are weakened, then it is a chance to speak to the people that we are not going to have a pop at.
So we go and talk to the Tinged one about.
If there's any help he can give us to get rid of Ethnician, this dark mage.
Mhm.
You are deciding on the Tinged one. I can lead you there.
That's my feeling. I don't know about anyone else.
I agree that the fact
Yeah.
that Cecian is a necromancer, summoning, creating
It's
undead.
all in the name, isn't it? Dark mage. Let me think.
Dark Mage or the Cursed one. Yeah, they're really spoiled for choice.
Well, the cursed one could just be it was
Yeah.
unfortunate. The dark mage sounds like an active decision of choice of name there.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Like I said, I'd rather kill a powerful mortal than a cursed god.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, that's a
it's a much more sensible way of looking at it.
sensible
frankly.
way. Yeah,
Yeah.
true that. All right. So, have you decided?
Yeah.
I shall look at Hendrix. Do you have a difference of opinion?
No, I'm just here for the ride, mate. Let's go.
Hendrix is the most chill fucking dog, but like
He's the most chill coward.
he's the most chill coward in the
Yeah.
world.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
I
I'll
shall-
just
Get
run away
this
when
holiday
things
over
get
with,
go-
that's what you
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
I shall pull
Leave.
a Mars bar from a pocket and chuck it to Hendrix.
Yay!
You need
Chocolate
you clearly need a
poisons
bit
dogs.
you clearly need a bit of energy. Wake up.
God,
I don't think Hendrix is a dog. I think he's a human who's been
Gotcha.
polymorphed into a dog.
yeah, a
Oh,
good
there you go.
theory. A good theory. Rather than a demon that's been polymorphed into a dog. Gotcha.
Well, he passed the trial at the from the council. So
Fallible humans. It's fine.
that's me.
He'll stands and waits for you all to gather your things. He has a moment of contact with sort of like just respectfully nods towards Remy, who kind of hoots sort of like an acknowledgement to him, and he begins to set off, sort of keeping a good pace so that you can keep up with him. It's a little bit different from the way that Liam leads you. This place, now disanimated, is much easier to travel, but still overgrown. In a more mundane way, it's difficult. You're not impeded because Huel knows the area so well. You imagine from what he's told you that he's been here his entire life. He was probably born in this realm, and he leads you through thickets and small valleys of roots and into areas so thick with the trees, even though they are now bent, still dark. In fact, the only trouble that you find is Huel has to stop occasionally to get his bearings because the landscape has changed somewhat. His own navigation skills are a little bit lacking because of this calamity that has happened. He travels for about two hours, and gets to an area where the flora and fauna is a little bit more. There's like berries on trees. There's like more growth here in a nicer way, if that makes sense, rather than just being like impeding roots and vines. You're now going into glades of plants that have fruit on them, and some trees that have low-hanging fruit. There are mushrooms here. There are areas of different types of grasses. Just before you get further into this area, he stops, and he says, "Are you prepared to meet with him in your state and he in his?"
Have you ever met him before?
I have seen him, but I was flying. He is usually not the talking type. I am hoping that he will see sense, because he is just as weakened as his enemy. You will need somebody to be persuasive. He speaks our language of the Fae. He also speaks the old tongue. He refers to Middle Welsh. He may speak other languages. I do not know. I have never seen him converse with anyone. He is in the form of a giant boar. Do not let that disturb you.
Does he expect respect?
Strength. You may still need to prove yourself. The Dark Mage respects cunning. This is why they are enemies, I think.
Well, we're fucked either way, so.
Strength and cunning are only weakness. I am going to, I think, cut this session short. I think I kind of want to prep a little bit more what's going to happen with this meeting now that I know which choice you've made. I'm looking forward to it. I had a fight planned, which, you know, happily to go ahead with, but I hadn't really properly thought about what the conversation was going to be like. So I'm gonna spend some time and think about how that's going to go.
Okay.
And we'll come back to that if everyone's happy with that.
Yeah.
I know it's 20 minutes early, but
Yep. So if we end the session there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right,
yeah.
I shall stop recording in a sec then. So anyone
Okay.
thanks
see you
for
next
watching,
week.
and there will be another session soon, hopefully. Thanks.
Right,
Bye.
folks. See you all.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.